Oh, hi, podcast listeners. There's many ways you can listen to the Real Nerds podcast. You can subscribe on iTunes. You can also subscribe on Stitcher Radio. You want to send us a Twitter message? You can do that. It's so easy, at Real Nerds. Like us on Facebook, Real Nerds Podcast. You can visit our website, realnerdspodcast.com, where there'll be a lot of articles for you to not only read, but to listen to our previous shows. Do you like your stories told through pictures? Then you can also follow us at Real Nerds on Instagram. You can also call us, 720-6nerds5. Thanks for listening and enjoy the show.
Camera, action!
Well, a real nerd knows who shot, and a real nerd can follow the plot, and a real nerd
Doesn't talk film. I'm sorry.
Take it outside.
Well, a real nerd knows who shot, and a real nerd can follow the plot, and a real nerd will give it all they got. Lights, camera, action! Real nerds.
Welcome to Real Nerds Podcast, the greatest movie podcast of all time. I'm Brad, and with me today is
Zach.
And Corinne.
And Ryan would be here, but he decided that a hockey game was more important than our film of the week, which is Creed. Suspicious that he has chosen to go watch a bunch of white hockey players instead of a black directed and starring film. Stay tuned very shortly, because we'll be talking about that film and smearing Ryan's name further.
What does that say about him? What does that really say? He saw the movie. He saw the movie. I'm fairly sure he saw. Well, I don't know. He said he was going to.
He said, yeah, I have no confirmation that he did it at all. It seems like he completely blew off this week, and it's very suspicious.
It's very convenient that the one Rocky movie without Sylvester Stallone in it.
Very suspicious.
Yeah, I don't know. It may not be what you're thinking it is. It may just be that he's a huge Stallone fan and he was just protesting. But yeah, we saw it though, and we're gonna have fun with it.
It could be that he just was disappointed there'd be no reason for him to break out his Stallone impression for this episode, so he decided to just not be here at all.
Well, if fortune favors the bold, then we may have an appearance from Mr. Stallone later. I don't know.
We'll see. We will see. A lot of people tell me they're going to send stuff in, and then they don't. So I'm not holding my breath.
What if I keep reminding him, hey, get your buddy Stallone on the show. Get your buddy Stallone on the show, and then just finally call him at 3 a.m. Get Stallone on the phone.
He's not going to like that.
Well,
he does not.
He doesn't respond well to 3 a.m. calls.
What's up, Corinne?
I'm not planning to send in anything this week because I'm on the show. So
yeah,
woo. There you go.
Nothing from me this time.
A unusual lineup for us.
Yeah. Well, it's been a while since it's been
weird.
just us three. What has it been, like a year and a half?
I don't know. Brad keeps the stats.
Yeah, I did not check up on it. All I know is that with Ryan not being here, I am now tied for the most appearances on the podcast with him. So the next time he's off, I take the top spot.
There you go.
So, and I have not missed a show since 2019, so it's going to be tough for him to come back from that.
So what you need to do is just light something on fire in Idaho Springs, or, just really, cause mayhem. And then you can just zoom in from somewhere in the city while he's out dealing with your bullshit.
Oh my God. This Idaho Springs arsonist is merciless. He only seems to come out between Monday and Tuesday.
Getting bomb threats called in on Mondays and Tuesdays. So weird.
Ryan just has a bunch of fucking shit, webbed together on a cork board, and he's doing the Zodiac search for you.
I'll find him.
I need to know who he is and why he keeps me from appearing on my podcast.
Anyway, so yeah, we're going to talk about Creed 3 in a minute, and then we're going to give our general I can't think of the word. We're going to give our general thoughts on the movie, and then we're going to play the trailer. And then we're going to talk about it in spoiler territory, very in depth. And then we're going to talk about movie news of the week. There's really only one important thing that happened. And then we're going to talk about what we've been watching.
Sweet.
And
by the way, General Thoughts is my favorite member of the armed forces.
Okay.
Good to have you back on, Zach.
Thank you. Happy to be back.
So I was gonna say something mean, and
he was baffled by that stupid joke.
The arbiter of dull thuds, Jack Eastman. Anyway, Creed 3, we saw it this week. What did you think, Zach?
I was actually surprised how much I enjoyed myself. I thought by movie 3 I'd be a little bit feeling tired of the continuation of the Rocky series, but I actually found it refreshing. And I don't know if that's because Stallone's not in there, so maybe there's a challenge for me to experience it on my own terms without the baggage of Stallone, or if it's the way Michael B. Jordan actually directed the film, because man, there's some really fun stuff in here for his first outing on behind the camera. So I would recommend people go see it. It's really good. It tells a good Rocky story on its own terms, and doesn't need its original creator to carry those loads. So yeah, go check it out.
Corinne?
I say this as somebody who doesn't have a lot of exposure to the Rocky franchise. I've seen maybe 2 of them. I know I've seen the first one. I think I've seen part of the third one, and then I've seen the fourth one. And I haven't seen any of the previous Creed movies, so I was just kind of generally excited. I like Jonathan Majors. I like Michael B. Jordan. I was excited to see his directorial debut. And yeah, the fact that Stallone wasn't in it, I guess it gave it a little bit more separation. Like, yeah, they kind of mentioned Rocky and Creed a couple of times, but honestly, I think it could have just stood on its own. Outside of that, there were a couple of things I was a little confused about as far as like his family history, but even someone who's a relative outsider to this franchise coming into it, I enjoyed it. I think the writing could have been a little bit tighter, but I thought it was well directed, well acted, had a lot of drama, arguably melodrama in there that we'll get into when we talk after the trailer. But no, I liked the soundtrack and the acting. Everything was pretty solid. I came away with it with a good impression, but honestly, I might forget that I saw it in like a week. So, it's kind of one of those movies. It's like, it wasn't bad, but it might not stick with me the way that the creators would want it to, if that makes sense.
Yeah. So I can't decide if it is the Rocky 3 of Rocky 5s or the Rocky 5 of Rocky 3s. It has elements of both those old movies. I do appreciate that finally they have taken this character and kind of set him out on his own without being in the shadow of Rocky Balboa for once. I felt like this should probably have happened one movie ago. Overall, I was very confused with a lot of elements going on in the movie, but I do think they did a lot of stuff that happens in Rocky 5 better. There's just some confusing parts overall. I think everyone performs fantastically. I think the direction is interesting, and nothing special, but I did enjoy what I saw. Here's the trailer for Creed 3.
The higher you get, the harder it gets. That's life.
Because this is a war. It's a fight. It's a battle.
So, how long have you known each other?
We was like brothers.
One day you came back. The past came back too.
There may have been a time when Damien had your back.
No friends in the industry.
But that's not what he's doing now.
My brothers been my brothers, man. They no kidding me a fact.
Before I got locked up, I was the best. You a coward, bro. And a fraud. Try spending half your life in a cell. Watching somebody else live your life.
I had to draw the line.
I'm just getting started, little brother.
I had to draw the line between my brothers and my enemies.
I'm coming for it all. It's not gonna stop.
Then you make him.
The one and only Adonis Creed, you're the best pound-for-pound fighter in the world. 3 years ago, it's been a minute since you've been out in these streets.
When I walked away from boxing, I walked away with some unfinished business.
You see that man right there? Do you remember him?
No friends in the industry. I had to draw the line between my brothers and my enemies. A fact. Let us start a beat, don't wanna keep it rap. Yeah, you hit us up and now we owe you something back.
Don't let him destroy everything you've built. Everything we've built.
Yeah, I had to draw the line between my brothers and my enemies. My brothers and my enemies. My brothers and my enemies.
You out there boxing. I need you to start fighting.
So Creed 3 takes place with Adonis Creed having been retired for some time. Well, the movie starts with him in his like showing his final fight before he retires, and then starts managing other fighters. I forget, was the new his fighter Spider?
What
was his
Felix?
name?
Felix.
Yeah.
Felix, yeah.
It's like Spider's one of the Rocky ones, but yeah. So he's managing Felix, and his wife is kind of turned to managing herself. Well, not managing herself, but managing other artists as well.
She's a producer.
Yeah, she's a producer. And then they have a daughter, who, much like Rocky V, is struggling at school, in a plot that doesn't seem to be, it is touched on, but doesn't quite wrap up anywhere.
I think it's just they're setting it up for the rest of the franchise. That maybe like, hey, like they're showing the groundwork of where the franchise could go with, you know, Creed having his daughter, and that maybe she'll become a boxer too.
Yeah,
I guess if you're assuming there's a fourth one, so which based on the box office,
I thought they confirmed that. Yeah, I thought they confirmed that recently.
Well, you can't rely on like I don't know. I guess I'm a person who thinks like everything that takes place in the movie should make sense. Like you shouldn't have to, you know, check Hollywood Reporter to find out if there's gonna be a sequel. Like I feel like that should be, if they're gonna set up that thread, they should promise it more blatantly that hey, there's gonna be a sequel to one of these. But as far as it stands, it feels like the whole franchise could wrap up with this movie, the way it ends. But anyway, so Adonis is managing new fighters, and then an old friend wanders into town. When we find out that when Adonis was younger, he was kind of an assistant to Jonathan Majors' character. And one night while they're out, I think they were getting back from a fight or something. They stop off at like a 7-Eleven, and we find out that Adonis runs into another guy from his past, and then just beats the shit out of him. A full-grown adult, and he's like 12, I guess. I don't know. Just goes into a rage pummeling. And then as the movie goes on, we find out that Jonathan Majors' character, Damien, that's right, tried to break it up by pulling out a weapon, and he didn't shoot him, but the cops arrived around the same time and busted him for threatening with a weapon, and then went away for a long time and lost his burgeoning fighting career. And Michael B. Jordan never bothered to check in on him. So now he wants to revive his disappeared boxing career, and Adonis agrees to facilitate that despite everyone else's reservations. And much like Rocky V, it does not go well, and they end up fighting each other. And yeah, so during that whole final fight, I was just in my head going, just apologize, man. Just apologize. That's all I was looking for is like an honest apology. Like, you know, the most of the movie, I'm just going like, Adonis really screwed up with this guy. He's totally in the wrong on this, and he just needs to own up to it.
Well, especially because they reveal later in the movie that when Damien got caught by the cops, Adonis ran away. He never got caught or arrested or punished or anything, while Damien spent half of his life in prison. So that's why, and I wish they would have fleshed that out a little bit more, because that was kind of the whole focus of the trailer, was this kind of idea that Damien, Adonis had the life that Damien wanted. He became this big fighter and, had the world championship and had this beautiful family and the big house and all this. And Damien kind of put his ass out on the line for Adonis, and Adonis ran away and Damien went to jail. And so that's why, when he gets out, he's super upset. He's like, I'm coming for everything. You had the life that I should have had, and you got to have it because you ran away like a coward. So, yeah, I think they should have emphasized that a little bit more in the script, because, like I said, it was such a big part of the trailer that's part of why it made me want to see the movie, because I was like, this sounds like a really good story. These two, I don't know if it actually ended up in the movie, because there were different shots and sequences in the trailer that I noticed were not in the final film, or maybe they'll be in the director's cut or something. But yeah, and I think Adonis says something like, we used to be as close as brothers, now we're past talking. And this, I'm going to geek out for a second here, but this is a very anime thing. And I think I've seen headlines where Michael B. Jordan said that some of his directorial style for this movie was based in anime. And there is a shot at the very beginning of the movie where Adonis is leaving his house, and it's confirmed he's a time traveler because he has a poster for, I'm pretty sure it's Naruto Shippuden, which this is set in, the very beginning is set in 2002. And Naruto Shippuden didn't premiere in the United States till 2009. So I'm like, yep, Adonis is a time traveler, confirmed. But I think it was just more of an Easter egg and a nod to hey, this is just an influence on this movie. And I definitely saw that with Adonis and Damien, this whole we were super close, we were basically brothers, and now we're, bitter rivals, bitter enemies. We hate each other. And your whole thing of why don't they just talk it out? Why don't they just apologize to him? I'm like, that's not how it works in anime. You have to fight them. That's the only way they'll see reason, is if you defeat them. And that's exactly what happened. And there's that one shot at the end in the fight where they both hit each other in the jaw. I was like, so anime. Anyway, sorry. I geeked out for a second, but that when I saw that poster, I just flipped out.
Okay. Yeah. So I was mostly confused about Leon, the guy he beats up when he's a kid. We find out was someone at some point Adonis was in, and I guess I lost track of this from the other movies, but he was in a group home.
Yeah. I think I don't remember First Creed that well to remember if that was an element of her and him and Felicia Rashad talking to each other about his past and why he gets to the point he's at.
Yeah, I can't remember why, because I thought he grew up with her. She's super rich, so I don't know why he would send her, or why she would send him away.
Well, because he's not. Wasn't part of it that he's not a legitimate son of Apollo and that wife, or because he's at a youth detention center or something like that, and she takes him in. Or am I crazy? I don't remember.
Like that does kind of sound familiar, but yeah, I've totally lost track of that thread because I thought like he was just straight up his son with her in Apollo. But
well, I'm looking on Wikipedia right now. It's Felicia Rashad is playing Apollo's widow and Donnie's stepmother, who takes on Donnie following the death of Donnie's biological mother. So it was a woman that he had a child out of wedlock, and so she took him in. So he probably had issues prior to her taking him in.
Okay, so that makes sense. So yeah, so he's in this group home, and I guess Leon was kind of in charge of the kids, and he was really mean to them.
Abusive, pretty much.
Abusive, yeah. So later on, Jonathan Majors shows a photo, Felicia Rashad shows Adonis a photo that was sent by Damien from prison because she hid all those letters and correspondence from him. And the photo has Damien like shaking hands with some dude. Is that Leon?
No, that's the guy who attacked Felix.
And thus Felix
attacked the fighter, or not attacked Felix, attacked Drago. Sorry.
Yeah, I was confused by that scene too, Brad.
So the scene, it's the scene when they're in the party and Drago gets kicked the shit out of with a like.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
I forgot about that.
So that's the same guy that attacked him. They're bros in prison, so that's why it's like, oh my god, he orchestrated the whole thing because I wouldn't cave in and give him shit for nothing.
Yeah, no, I thought it was Leon. I was like, that doesn't look like Leon, but that's the thing that makes sense. But I totally didn't put together that was the guy who attacked Drago. So like,
yeah, I didn't get that either.
No, it seemed pretty okay, clear to me. Like, took a second, but I
figured it was somebody from a previous movie that, if you had seen Creed 1 or Creed 2, you would know who that was.
No, I think they were trying, but it is a quick shot of the guy who's attacking Drago, so it's not like it's the most super cut clear. Like, there are some moments of this film where things pass by you pretty quick, and I wish he was like let stuff linger a little bit, but
I do remember that sequence being pretty fast because it was like all of a sudden like the guy just starts attacking, you can't tell who's attacking who and what happens, and then just like smash cut to Adonis sitting on the couch watching the news.
Yeah,
and it's like, wait, what just happened?
Yeah, because the scenes, the direction of the film focuses so well on this like angels with dirty faces in the boxing ring kind of aesthetic that it does lose grip of some slight threads that make sense for the plot. So I mean, like, that's definitely like an editing note is like, okay, next time if you do another Rocky a Creed outing, might want to like hold back on like quick cut stuff like that. Like, you might want to actually let some stuff breathe a tiny bit. But I mean, it was like such a small little instance of something that I didn't really care much about it being confusing. All you needed to know was that Damien was acting the way he was, and it leads to the end. So.
And then, yeah, there's a tiny little subplot where his daughter is getting bullied at school and she fights back, and Bianca doesn't want her to fight back, and Adonis says that she has to. That's how the world works. And then it doesn't really go anywhere, except for the end where it kind of hints that he's going to train her, and maybe in like 10 years, she's going to be the next fighter. I don't know. Maybe that's the plot of 4.
Don't say that out loud. You'll make a bunch of grown men cry, Brad.
I know.
Maybe it's supposed to be a contrast to Adonis, and like presumably maybe he had a relationship with his father. I haven't seen the other Creed movies, so I'm not sure. But maybe it's supposed to be in contrast to that. Like, he's able to be in his daughter's life, and rather than like her deciding to become a boxer and him not being okay with it, he's actually on board and he like wants to teach her to box.
Mm-hmm.
That makes sense.
It's similar to Rocky 5, where Rocky's son's getting bullied at school, and he wants his dad to, help him fight back, but Rocky's distracted by helping Tommy Gunn become a fighter. So he's basically doing what he should do for his son for Tommy Gunn instead. And then, ultimately, like his son fights back on his own without his help. So yeah, I guess the Creed version is that he's actually going to maybe train his daughter properly.
Yeah. And the difference is that I would actually like to see that thread carried through. And yes, let's get a female Rocky movie out there in the future, please and thank you. That'd be fucking cool.
Let's make some dudes on the internet really mad. That'd be great.
I'm totally down for spite, but also kind of want to see have we had many female boxing movies that don't end in tragedy like $1 Million Baby? Like,
I can think of Girl
not.
Fight and $1 Million Baby. That's about it.
So two, okay, and Clint Eastwood's behind one of them. Jesus,
Fighting with My Family, that's wrestling, right?
That's wrestling, yeah. But I mean, but also that's a fighter. You know, that's a pretty good example too. But yeah, like take that mold, but put it into boxing. It'd be fucking cool.
They'd have to really age her up because I think she's only like maybe 10 in the movie.
Well, you got to wait until Michael B. Jordan gets old, and then he wants a Best Supporting Actor nomination. Because he hasn't gotten giddly squat from the Academy yet. But I mean, you know, this is just maybe it's a good tease for the future, but also it doesn't have to rely on future Rocky product. It's just a very heartwarming moment at the end of the movie too. So like it serves two purposes.
Like we've had plenty of Rocky's involvement in these movies. I think it's time for Creed to stand out on his own, and this is a good first step. And hopefully they can take it to other more interesting places.
Has there been another? I have not rewatched the Rocky series in a while. I don't think there's ever been a uniquely shot fight sequence in that film, in those films, until this one. Because that near the end where they go inside their minds and they're duking it out in an empty stadium was just like I was awestruck by it. It was beautiful.
Anime.
Oh, dude, I mean, yeah, you can tell that that's influences there, but it just also like there was Raging Bull shots stuck in there for some reason. I'm like, man, that's really cool to bring Raging Bull shit into Rocky. Like it made the fight personal, which was interesting, but like it got I like that it physically and literally got into the characters' heads. And it gives him the chance to kind of play with shit that he may otherwise not be able to in any other movie. For his first time out, like he gets to experiment here. It's kind of cool.
It's creative, but I didn't really feel like it had much of an impact for me. I think it actually took away from the drama because it's so stylized. It just feels a little more like graphics heavy than drama like infused. So, kudos to it for experimenting.
The whole sequence in the stadium was very obviously green screened.
Yeah.
Or at least like when they're in the ring. I don't know, like the shots when they're walking in, like that could be real, or maybe they at least like did it on a set. I don't think they actually did it in Dodger Stadium, but you know, those looked fairly real. And then when they got in the ring, I'm like, this is all green screen, you guys. I can tell it super easily.
Yeah, I think they just did the traditional thing of filming some of the audience and then just duplicating it in CGI, so it looks like the stadium is full. That's what they did with like The Dark Knight Rises and I think 42.
They do that with Ted Lasso. I think.
Oh yeah, Ted Lasso.
Yeah.
They do that with Bohemian Rhapsody as well for Live Aid at the end.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, it'd be super hard to get like 50,000 extras there.
Well, they should have tried harder. Damn it.
So yeah, any other thoughts on Creed 3?
So again, didn't see the first two Creeds, but I was so excited to see crap, I forgot the actor's name now, but he played Julius Campbell in Remember the Titans, and I like freaked out when I saw him. So between that and the Naruto Shippuden poster, I was having a great time in the theater. Little geeking out in the seat.
I think if anything, for me, I'm curious now because Felicia Rashad dies in the movie. That's, I guess, we're in spoiler territory. We can talk about that. So Mother Creed dies. And so it kind of made me realize, like, they obviously like they're tackling certain threads throughout the Rocky films in sort of a repeat mode. But I think this film's original enough on its own merits to not draw many comparisons beyond the ones that Brad mentioned. But I'm wondering, since he's on his own now, there's got to be a point where they address Rocky's death whenever Stallone kicks the bucket. I'm just sensing that's going to happen. And I'm curious how that either contributes to a plot or becomes nothing but like a filler scene down the line in the Creed series. Because I will be honest, I love this movie because it doesn't have Rocky in it, but I also missed Rocky. So I'm kind of torn. I'm like, I don't want him milling around there, but I miss that lovable lug, you know?
Yeah, well, I obviously, I think every thread from his story is wrapped up at this point, but also I don't think audiences would have come out and watched a movie where Rocky dies. So I think it's better just kind of like have him disappear. He got his kid back and that's all that matters.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And we don't need Phylicia Rashad dying in this movie is much like Mickey dying in 3. So
3, yeah.
We don't need to do that again with anyone else. So
yeah, again, I'm not like wishing it. Like, I hope that they just keep going on the thread that they're going and don't even mention Rocky again, or only mention him in passing, going like, "Hey, thanks again." But yeah, I did find it strange, and that was the one thought that I had creeping out of me at the end of the movie, was going like, how are they going to handle Rocky's death when that finally happens? And also I guess I'm curious to find out if Stallone ever even ended up watching the film, because I know that he wasn't too happy with being kind of written out of this film. So
he was listed as a producer on it.
Yeah,
so I don't see why he wouldn't.
There were reports early on that he was not thrilled or delighted by the fact that it was a Rocky movie without Rocky in it. So
that's what he's got to learn. Is like, this franchise shouldn't be a Rocky movie. It should be.
Yeah, it's not his name on the poster anymore. It's Creed.
Mm-hmm.
As far as I can tell, it's a spinoff. It's like, yeah, Rocky was in Creed 1 and 2, but this is Creed's franchise now, or at least like a spinoff franchise.
Yeah, yeah. It's sort of a continuation. It's like Philadelphia boxing or something like that. Like, I don't know. It's like the boxing franchise. Like, it has no, like, it doesn't need Rocky.
Except they're in LA now.
Right. Yeah. So then never mind. It's not even a Philly thing anymore.
Nope.
I don't know. It's just a thought that was kind of crossing through my head, because it is weird, like, to spend all these years growing up with Rocky movies and you identify Stallone with this franchise, even with Creed 1 and 2, and then all of a sudden he's gone. It was interesting to kind of process it under new auspices, and I enjoyed it. And I really want to see where else Jordan takes his directing career, because man, he can shoot some shit pretty well.
I mean, if Stallone wants to be another Rocky movie, he can make Rocky 6 or 7 without Apollo Creed, if it's that important to him.
Yeah, I mean, sure, he's got the money, and I'm sure he can go knock on Winkler's door and be like, "Yo, put me in, Irwin. Come on." But yeah, I don't know. He's got that King Tulsa thing going on now with Paramount Plus. Maybe he's happy over there.
Cool. So
isn't there a new Expendables movie coming out?
They've been saying that for a while now.
It's supposed to come out this year. So,
well, I'll believe it when I see it. I'll believe it when I see it.
Speaking of stuff coming out.
Side note, the actor who plays Duke is named Wood Harris. He's the one who is Julius Campbell in Remember the Titans. Just wanted to state that for the record, since I couldn't remember his name earlier.
Oh,
Fantastic.
Apparently he was an Ant-Man too, and I totally missed that.
And now here's what Ryan has to say about Creed 3, if he even watched it.
Well. Real Nerds Podcast, my podcast, Ryan's podcast. You're reviewing Creed 3, and here's my review of Creed 3. The movie is really good. However, I'm going to spend the rest of my time talking about how Brad thinks he's going to pass me in the number of appearances on our show. Silly Brad. That will never happen. I am so much better than you. I'm so much smarter. I'm so much cooler that everybody will miss me if I'm not on the show. So when I'm not on the show, you can expect a phone call from me, or you can expect a voice message from me. Just know I'm always around, I'm always watching, and I'm always the best real nerd that there is. See you next week. Bye.
Wow, hot take, Ryan. Can't believe you said that. That's pretty controversial.
Yeah, I don't think it was very nice of him to say that Stallone should have been every actor in the movie. That just seems rude to the other actors.
He's gonna get this podcast canceled.
I'm surprised at how much of that review was in a Stallone impression.
Yeah. It's almost like we were actually getting a review from Stallone and not from Ryan.
Well, that's what he told me he was going to do. Like, he has that direct line to Sylvester Stallone, and he was going to get him on the show, and it really just sounds like he faked it himself.
Yeah. You know what? His impression of Stallone sounds about as good as my impression of Alfred Hitchcock.
I mean, what's all this? What have we been working towards if he can't just call up Stallone and get a quick, soundbite for the podcast?
Look,
like, how famous is this guy really?
You know, they had a falling out because Ryan agreed to do the follow-up to Stop or My Mom Will Shoot without Stallone involved.
It's ridiculous.
I mean, if the Real Nerds isn't big time enough to get Stallone, then what's the point of all this?
You remember at the top of the show when I said this is the greatest movie podcast of all time, right?
Yeah, I remember.
And somehow Stallone doesn't understand that?
No, he might just be greedy and lazy.
Like, come on, Ryan, step it up. Like, you're the ambassador for this thing. You should be able to get someone like Stallone easy.
I'm Ambassador Frost of the Andronian Galaxy.
You know what? If Michael B. Jordan was in Space Jam: A New Legacy, I don't understand why he wouldn't be on the Real Nerds podcast, which is 1,000 times better than Space Jam.
Yeah, that is true. That is true. Michael B. Jordan, if you are listening, we are looking for somebody to replace Ryan.
No, like, Henry, this is your job, man. Like, you love Space Jam. You should be getting us interviews with Michael B. Jordan.
Henry,
that's
you've got some explaining to do.
You're in Denver now. I don't know why you're not even on this show.
Yeah. Oh, Henry's in Denver now?
Yeah, he's back, baby. Woo!
Oh,
fun.
So maybe he needs to start pulling his weight and getting on Zoom and talking to us a little bit.
Or at least talking to Michael B. Jordan without us.
Yeah, watch him call in next time and be like, hey guys, I talked to Michael B. Jordan about the podcast.
Hey guys, I talked to Michael B. Jordan.
He's not going to be on it.
Is that your Henry impression?
It's not very good right now.
It was pretty close, but not enough.
So we're covering.
Drop your voice another octave.
Hi, I'm Henry. I don't like La La Land, but I
now
do love other good
little
films.
bit more pretentious.
I know.
Henry doesn't like La La Land.
Well, that's a film explosion that I love. Where I think it's 300, where you played the trailer for him, and apparently I couldn't remember this until recently, but we were all looking at him apparently, and he goes like, I don't understand why everybody's looking at me. I like the movie. I don't understand why I get saddled with this. Because he was more critical of La La Land than the rest of us, I believe.
Anyway, nonsense aside, here's the big news story of the week.
It's real news.
Yeah, so the new Ninja Turtles Mutant Mayhem trailer dropped.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm into it, even though a lot of the internet is not.
Are they upset because it looks like across Spider-Verse?
No, they're upset because Seth Rogen produced it, so they think it's gonna be a bunch of stoner jokes, and then they think April looks ugly, so that's messed up. I thought we already dealt with this for Rise of the TMNT, but clearly they haven't gotten over it.
So first of all, April O'Neil is a fictional character, and she can look however the creators of any particular iteration decided. And second of all, do they know that Seth Rogen's an actor and not just a weed guy? Like, they know he's like a creative human being, right?
Yeah,
he's written things that are not weed related.
He's literally produced the Preacher series, the Invincible series, and The Boys, which have gone on to critical acclaim.
Mm-hmm. He was in one of the best films of last year in a very good fucking supporting role that had nothing to do with weed.
Yeah, somehow these so-called Ninja Turtles fans have not picked up on the fact that literally constantly since 1984, the Ninja Turtles have been reinvented in different styles over and over and over again throughout the comics, throughout the TV shows, throughout the movies. And somehow this iteration, they just can't handle it. I think it's a cool Spider-Verse style, grungy, New York look. Yeah, the characters are distorted looking, but I think it fits pretty well with a good blend between what Paramount just worked on with Rise of the TMNT plus the Spider-Verse comic book style. It's a good blending, and they're trying to attract a new generation of fans, so they can keep the franchise going. And somehow people just can't get over the fact that they're just not going to get that live action stunt people in suits anymore.
I mean, they'll never get that, so they need to take a big chill pill and lie on the couch. But
they will never greenlight a rated R Turtles movie as much as I want it.
No,
it's
but
just not going to happen.
I do want to point something out though. Like I know it's not specifically the same art style, but the grittiness, kind of the gritty edge that it had to it, reminded me of like bits and bobs of the artwork from the original comics. So I was like, this kind of looks cool. Like it feels rough. It feels like it was made out of a garage, and I'm kind of excited for that. I thought people were getting upset about it cribbing on Spider-Verse's style, but the guy who co-directed Spider-Verse, Peter Ramsey, he retweeted something that was interesting, going like, people harping on the TMNT movie for harping on Spider-Verse's style. It's a non-reductive, it's an unproductive argument. Animation style influences other animation styles. It's just how this works. Like, that's the beautiful part of animation, is that it just keeps influencing other people to try things in that arena that was set up by one film or carry on in another direction. Like, I'm excited to see Ninja Turtles look like this, because it kind of feels, it feels rough. It feels like it was drawn by people who clearly care about these characters. So I'm stoked to see it.
If I was a CGI animator, I would be psyched, because like, you look at Pixar, you look at Illumination, DreamWorks, sort of a similar look across all those films, and it's been like that for 20 years. And finally with Spider-Verse and in this movie, they're doing CGI in a different style that's more painted and two-dimensional, and I'd be stoked to be able to try something new that. So
I think the lesson we've learned today here is that the internet is full of shit.
Full of lame opinions. I know.
Oh, by lame opinions, I mean shit. I meant what I said.
So yeah, that's coming out in August, and like I said, I've enjoyed Ninja Turtles for so long. It's like with Batman. There's been so many iterations of it. It's pretty stupid to get upset about any of them. Like, I'm gonna go watch it. It's like with the last ones, with the Out of the Shadows and the reboot. I didn't enjoy them fully, but I went and saw them and then moved on with my life. So
yeah,
it's pretty easy.
Also, you're kind of preparing for the fact that you will be announced as the new DCEU's Batman in about a month. They're going to announce that news, right? And you're just trying to get ahead of the arguments.
I'm the Batman?
Yes, what? You're going to be the new Batman for James Gunn. Yes, it's official.
Oh, yeah. Way to spill the tea on that. Thanks.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Yeah, I'm probably gonna get cut because they're gonna.
We gotta get we've got to get it out there. Okay, we got to get ahead of the trolls.
Non-disclosure contract, and thanks.
James Gunn will understand. He'll just kill me, not you.
I know you guys are joking, but I did just see a headline that the Batman 2 is going to start filming in November, I think.
Yeah.
And they're already on the in the middle of the Penguin HBO Max series, so they're currently shooting that.
Good. I'm glad Colin Farrell has work.
I'm sure that'll dovetail into that film in November. So
yeah.
Here's the stuff we've been watching.
So this is the stuff we've been watching.
Corinne, what'd you watch?
So I've been watching some sports movies for absolutely no reason whatsoever. Wink, wink. Be on the lookout for an announcement soon.
It's because you watched Creed, right? And you're like, oh, I got to watch more sports movies.
Actually, that is kind of part of it, but it's just kind of a confluence of other things going on. But again, there will be an announcement coming.
I know what you're thinking about. So,
Corinne, we know that you're going to be a part of the New York Yankees. You're going to be the first woman baseball player. Everybody knows this already.
God, I wouldn't want to play baseball. No,
why not? Baseball's great.
Baseball is the worst sport. It's so long and boring.
No, it's not. Football is, because they don't take safety seriously. Anyway, continue.
So on Ryan's recommendation, I watched Hustle, which is the Adam Sandler movie where he's like an assistant basketball coach. Well, he's a scout. He wants to become an assistant basketball coach, and the ownership of the team changes, and he has to go back out on the road, and he ends up finding this guy. Ryan talked about it during the film explosion, but in case people missed it, but he ends up finding this like total nobody in Spain. And this guy, Bo Cruz, he was going to join like an American club league or something as a teenager, but then his girlfriend got pregnant, so he had to stay and help raise his daughter. And Adam Sandler's character convinces Bo Cruz to come to the United States and like basically do the NBA combine and like really try out for the pro leagues because he thinks he has like a lot of potential. And it ends up becoming this kind of like pseudo father-son story, and the ending kind of broke me. But it's a really, really good movie. Recommend it. It's on Netflix. I also watched Bend It Like Beckham for the first time, which is a movie about girls soccer. The protagonist is a Indian Sikh girl, and her family is not really cool with her playing soccer. So there's like culture clash. And also there's this, I won't even say it's subtext, but there's this angle to the movie that's kind of like LGBTQ discussion, because there's a lot of these different, like crossed wires, like people think other characters are gay when supposedly they're straight. And I guess a lot of people on the internet are like, no, they're totally gay. Like they have to keep it subtext because this was made in like 2002. So even though it's like, yeah, the main character gets with the guy at the end, it's like she's going to have this long distance relationship because she's going off to America to play college soccer with her quote girlfriend. I mean, they are friends in the movie, but it's like, are they really? Like, I don't know. But anyway, it was an interesting movie. I'd kind of heard about it in passing. Honestly, it's amazing it got made in 2002, and it just deals with like the different, like the culture and the LGBTQ. And I'm like, dang, we were doing this 20 years ago. How did I miss out on this? Anyway, so that is on Disney Plus. If anybody wants to check it out, Bend It Like Beckham. I've watched a couple of other things, nothing really big. Abbott Elementary is still awesome. I've kind of started rewatching Community and The Bad Batch while I'm working on stuff, but those are probably the biggest things I can talk about right now. But yeah, keep an ear out for an announcement soon, because it is mid-March. You know what that means. Wink, wink.
Zach, what'd you watch?
I've been continuing my 1933 watch-a-thon that Ryan and I are kind of doing concurrently with Ballyhoo. One of the standouts from it has been a film called Professional Sweethearts, which is a screwball-ish kind of comedy with Ginger Rogers. It's about a female singer who plays younger than she is and less sophisticated than she is. And she really, really wants to just go out and be a jazz girl, liquor and drugs and everything else under the sun. And so her advertising agency and her personal agents are all basically conspiring to kind of like give her what she wants, but also build her brand. And part of that involves finding her a husband and making a whole publicity hoo-ha-ha about it. So they find a person from one of the admiring love letters and drag his butt from the Midwest or whatever to the city and get her married. But the twist is that once they actually settled into married life, she kind of gets tricked into being a regular housewife. The problem with the movie ultimately is that at a certain point she kind of gets tricked into being just a housewife and not being able to have an identity of her own. but the script thankfully flips that and gets her back into New York along with her husband. So like everybody's happy. It was just a very cute movie. Lots of fun. I highly recommend it. But I'll the other ones I'm kind of keeping tabs on until Ryan and I kind of coalesce near the end of the year with a big ballyhoo celebration of it. But another big thing has happened is starting this couple days back, I got very bored and I decided to watch a movie that I've been putting off for a while. It's one of two movies that needed to be completed for Growls and Swells, the Clint Eastwood saga that I wrote about for a couple of years on Real Nerds, which for anybody who doesn't know, it was a journey writing about the career of Clint Eastwood film by film, starting with the Sergio Leone trilogy up to the present day. And it, my opinion on Clint evolved over time. So like reviews of the Dirty Harry movies and Gran Torino probably don't hold up very well. And I've recognized that like my feelings about those films, especially in the wake of the last 5 or 6 years, have definitely changed. But I thought I owed it to myself to start the process of closing the book on Clint, because after watching the film that I did watch this week, I can tell you that like he may be able to direct again, but I doubt he's going to want to get in front of a camera again. So I watched Cry Macho, which is the most recent film that Clint came out with. Came out in 2021. The film takes place in a sort of it's in the late 70s, and a washed up rodeo cowboy is given a task by somebody who he owes a lot of favors to go to Mexico and pick up this guy's son and get him across the border safely, because his biological his mother is in Mexico and she's a raving lunatic. And so when he finally gets a hold of the son, the mother's henchmen go after the two. So it becomes sort of a on the run film to get to the Mexican border in time. But the movie meanders a lot, and there's benefit to that because it feels like a 70s film where side adventures become important plot points, and there is a genuine heart to the film, and it is thankfully not encroached in a lot of. There are problems with the movie on a cultural scale, but it's not the Mule or Gran Torino level issues. But the problem with the film, and I guess I'm like in the minority on this, is that I love Clint as an actor. I do love him. This man needs to stop. And it's not because I don't want to see him not act. It's just that the role that he gave himself in the movie, from what I gathered from the story, required at least somebody in his 60s or 70s, but probably no higher than that. Like maybe no higher than 79. Like this needs to be a much younger man by comparison to Clint. And Clint, there are moments where you get to see parts of him that made him shine in the 60s and 70s. Like him getting on a horse again is really cool. But the staging of fight scenes where he's supposed to punch a guy out, like the cheating on it is very obvious, and it sucks because I don't want to like knock him for trying to do this role. I just feel like he should have found somebody else to do the role and focused on directing it. That's just my 2 cents. I think that the film has a lot of merit, but unfortunately, some of the more unsettling elements of it, where they kind of just delve into like stereotypical territory. Like he finds the kid engaged in cockfights. So like, obviously this film is something that's based out of a novel from an earlier era and not from today. And he's trying to be faithful to this novel. So good for him. But I couldn't jive with some of those elements. And again, just Clint's performance, as well intentioned as it is, and even at moments as touching as it is, he just looks like he's not up for what he's doing. he looks exhausted on a lot of points on screen. And I don't know if it actually benefits his character to do that. Whereas in The Mule, it actually made a lot of sense for him to do that. And actually, if anything, this made me appreciate The Mule a little bit more on a story level than I probably did when I saw it the first time. So Cry Macho is kind of a weird way for Clint to conceivably end his acting career. It's not like he couldn't do the role. I just feel like he waited a couple years too late to do this role. He apparently had this property in the 70s and 80s and that, or like had a chance to do it and then decided to go do something else. And so that's why he picked it back up eventually with Albert S. Ruddy as producer. So I just feel like I just don't feel like it was the right choice. So with that, this week I'll be watching Richard Jewell, and I'll probably write up an article about those two, and hopefully that will be not hopefully closing the book on Clint, because I like that man as a director a lot. I do like seeing what he puts out, and he from a practical standpoint, it's interesting how often I've taken cues from Clint as a director whenever I've tried to direct. But it was kind of disappointing, to be honest, and I just felt a little bit melancholy. I ended up going back to Unforgiven and Dirty Harry just to kind of like get some of the Clint that I do enjoy, in order to just kind of not palate cleanse, but just put it into perspective. So yeah, that's what I've been watching. Next time, look out for Richard Jewell and the end of this whole nonsense.
Cool. I didn't really watch anything I watched some new stuff, but I don't know what's worth talking about. I saw RRR again in the theater, and it was amazing. Everyone should do that if they can. It's playing at the Alamo Drafthouse until tomorrow. So by the time you listen to this, it'll have been gone. So if it ever comes back to your town, check it out. I watched the Oscar animated and live action shorts, and I liked them, but there was nothing that really blew me away. I did sleep a little bit through the animation ones, so I missed a few. The only thing that did blow my mind this week is that I did rewatch all the Mission Impossible movies, and when I got to Fallout, and the White Widow shows up, and she has this monologue that I didn't really pay attention to before, but she's talking about a character called Max, which turns out is Vanessa Redgrave's character from the very first Mission Impossible movie, and that is her mom, not the actor, but just the character. And so that thread, I never picked up on before until today, and it just kind of blew my mind that they did a deep cut all the way back from the first movie in that one, and it's pretty awesome. So,
wow, neat.
That's what
Which
I watched.
one is Fallout? Is it the fourth one?
No, that's the sixth one.
Sixth one, yeah. Most recent one before the new ones come out this summer.
It's kind of weird to consider that those movies have a plot sometimes, because I am just kind of like, I'm really there for the stunts, but yeah, there's actual plot threads.
That's the one where Henry Cavill is in it, and he like cocks his arms or something.
Yeah, he reloads his arms.
Yeah,
he's in that fight scene in the bathroom. Guys,
he reloads his guns. Jesus.
Yeah, and actually, there's in Rogue Nation, the very opening scene where Alec Baldwin's character Hunley is taking IMF to task, and they're describing a scene from Ghost Protocol that I completely forgot about. So yeah, I never watched them all straight through together. So watching these little nuggets appear throughout is pretty fun. So
it's kind of amazing that that series that's the film series started in '96. We're like approaching the 30th anniversary of this franchise soon in the next 3 years.
Yeah, I mean, after 2, we were lucky to get the third one. I think the third one really just jump started into a whole new echelon.
J.J. Abrams definitely saved it.
Yeah, and then Brad Bird with Ghost Protocol really like leveled, because watching Mission Impossible 3 is actually a really small movie. Like there's almost no stakes. Like the the like the conflict is a MacGuffin, and then it's really just a back and forth between Philip Seymour Hoffman and Tom Cruise, really personal stakes. And then there's no grand, like they're gonna nuke the world or there's a secret other IMF going on. It's really just we have to find this one dude and stop him, and he's got my wife. So
yep. Yeah.
Really small. And then the three after that really just open up Mission Impossible this other level. And Dead Reckoning is going to be an amazing two-parter, I think.
And they've been really good about spacing out their entries. Like apart from the COVID hiccup, it's been like anywhere from 3 to 4 years in between entries.
Yeah,
interesting.
The closest one was between Fallout and Rogue Nation was only 3 years, but it's crazy to think that Fallout was 2018, so it's going to be like a 5 to 6 year stretch before the next ones.
Yeah, but we get two-parters too. That'll be the first for the series as well. So
yeah, we'll get this back to back, but still, like 2023. That's 5-6 years past 2018, and it feels like Fallout just came out. That's the crazy part.
Yeah, and you know what's great about it? It's not overstaying its welcome like another franchise that started in the 2000s, and might or may not be about.
You're talking about Fast and the Furious.
I'm not saying any names. I'm just saying that Corona has made a lot of money off of them at certain points in time, and I'm just saying that maybe The Rock was right to leave it. Anyway.
Well, before I reveal next week's movie, I'm going to promote the fact that on Apple Podcasts, the Real Nerds episodes have now been broken out into seasons. So apparently if you go to iTunes, all of our episodes stop in 2020 because I guess at some point they completely discontinued iTunes and everything's in Apple Podcasts now. And even then, they only showed 300 episodes at a time. So all of our early stuff, pretty much you can only get if you dig really deep or go to our website. But now, all those episodes are going to be little separate podcasts of their own, including film explosions and interviews and commentaries. They'll all be able to separately be subscribed to. So look for those as they appear and get approved, which I think is pretty cool. They'll have their own little feeds.
Really neat.
And we can finally track analytics through Apple Podcasts, which is great. Doesn't help our old episodes, but everything since 2017, I can start tracking. So
sweet. Wonderful. That's excellent news.
Yeah. All right.
I remember I actually, when you told us that earlier today, I ended up looking on and seeing if my analytics were up. I'm like, yeah, shoot, they actually got their shit together. I can now know exactly what's going on.
Yeah, apparently Film Explosion 2019 is our most popular episode on Apple Podcasts by a lot.
2019?
Yeah, 2019.
Wow. Everybody was really longing for those months before the pandemic.
I can get that. Our 2019 Film Explosion was actually really good.
It is, yeah. Hey, things got emotional that year.
It helps that it has like a bunch of Marvel in it, but overall, like on the list, all the Film Explosions are pretty high. I forget which. There's like a non-Film Explosion episode that's really popular. But
do we have a favorite Film Explosion amongst us nerds? Do we have a favorite one that we've embarked on?
Like our own preference?
Yeah. Out of all the years we've done and all the shows we've done, what's your favorite Film Explosion? Just right off the top of your head.
I really don't have one, I don't think.
I have mine. It's 1998 because I wasn't meaning to do this, but I put a film at number 5. And the reaction that James has is one of the most unexpected ones I've ever experienced on that show. Because he literally looked like he was going to flip the table.
I remember that.
I put Saving Private Ryan at number 5 because there's 4 other movies I like more than that movie. And he just lost it. And I was living with my folks at the time, and my folks literally could hear that.
You're like infamous in every film explosion, though. So
I know, and I don't want to say that. But I'm not trying to be. I'm not trying to be rude. It just happens on accident. Ryan did that to me for the fog. He actively did that.
But I was going to say that the other thing about the Film Explosion 2019 episode is that the engagement statistic is so off the charts ridiculous that it has to be an error, because its engagement is 139,000% compared to every other episode we have.
You know, that makes sense though, because it literally tells me that Ballyhoo has over 10,000 downloads, and I'm like, that can't be true. It's in 9,000, but it's not anywhere close to 10,000. It's shooting up past. I'm like, where are these extra listens?
Yeah, I don't get it. Yeah. It's so weird.
I don't understand it. It's better to have like, I mean, I use a different interface. That one just gives me the exact amount from where it's coming from the system. So it's just like, okay, I know what my numbers are. So then that's cool. Like iTunes Analytics shows me the subscribers, which is nice. But
anyway,
I'm trying to think of like, what was the first Film Explosion all six of us were on? I think it was 2018, right?
I think so, yeah.
I can find that out.
Because that would probably be my favorite of the Film Explosions.
It might be episode 300, 2017. And then Film Explosion 2017 is the next one that has all six of us.
I know I was not on the 2017 one because I sent in my list late.
No, you're right. It's 2018. I'm totally looking at the columns wrong.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was a good year. Yeah, that's a good one. But we have more Film Explosions coming out this year, so maybe they'll become our new favorites. Who knows?
We do. The
is
way
1983 coming up?
It is. I was about to say that the schedule going forward is so stacked that before and after Guardians of the Galaxy 3 are the lightest weeks. So we might do 83 and 93 within 2 weeks of each other. Because
I've already got my 83 list I need to send to you, but now I need to make my 93 one really quick.
It would be smart to do both, because I think we're going to end up, because the spring and summer are so full through August. There are a few weeks that we can get in and do Film Explosions. So
dang.
Yeah.
Dang, movies are back.
Movies are back. It's a hell of a year.
Movies are back. Hooray. Okay. Took it long enough.
I feel like the winter was really slow. I think it's maybe people should have spaced out the movies a little bit better.
Look, everybody was just waiting for Cocaine Bear. And now that we have Cocaine Bear, now we can get on with the rest of the slate. That doesn't matter because we have Cocaine Bear.
Hollywood is just so afraid of Way of Water that they just didn't want to counter program it.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
And Cocaine Bear. They didn't want to program Cocaine Bear in a place where it couldn't succeed.
Speaking of upcoming movies, our movie next week is Scream 6.
Ooh.
Have fun with that.
What's your favorite scary movie?
I'm interested in their New York setting, and Ryan is obviously going to be there day one. So
yeah, the trailer is playing off a one key scene that unnerves me to no end. So I'm curious how I'll handle it in a movie theater.
So yeah, until next week.
Bye.
Bye.
Hey, film buddies, follow me around Denver.
Hey, welcome back to Brad Around Town. I haven't done this segment in a long time because I have not been able to put out episodes in a timely manner, but I think this week I might actually get that done. So I just want to throw in here a little promotion for the Cine Insomnia late nights at the Esquire Theater this weekend of Friday the 17th and Saturday the 18th. They're showing In Bruges, hot off the heels of The Banshees of Inisherin, the original team up of Colin Farrell and Brendan Gleeson for Martin McDonagh is playing at the Esquire late night, so definitely check that out. And I will probably see you there because I haven't seen that movie in a while. And that's what's going on around town.
Well, a real nerd knows who shot. A real nerd can follow the plot. And a real nerd will give it all they got. Lights, camera, action. Real nerds.
Thanks for listening to Real Nerds Podcast, a Nebulous Visions production. Stream or download episodes, read articles at realnerdspodcast.com. Stream us on Apple or Google Podcast, Stitcher, Spotify, or iHeartRadio. Follow us on Facebook, Real Nerds Podcast, Twitter and Instagram at Real Nerds. Watch us on YouTube, Real Nerds Podcast. Email us at realnerds@gmail.com. Call us at 720-6nerds5. Thank you to Sparks Mandrill, Mike at Plan 9 Studios, and Bolognium for all of our groovy theme songs. And that's how you fucking do it.